Hi, Kara from Health, Home, and Happiness here. Today I wanted to talk about my floor bed. I've been sleeping on the floor for about a year now, and I still love it. Real quick, before you come at me in the comments, it has nothing to do with non-toxic. I know that my carpet is not non-toxic, and it has nothing to do with being minimalist. I'm really not a minimalist at all. I just heard about the health benefits. I heard that some people, kind of like in the same way that I found the carnivore diet, I heard that some people really like sleeping on the floor, and they find that once they start it, they can't go back to it. And I'm like, that's super interesting. And I kind of needed a mattress upgrade anyway. And so last spring I got rid of my mattress, and I'm like, I'll just try sleeping on the floor. And so I called our city, and I had my mattress taken away by the big item trash pickup people. And I've been sleeping on the floor ever since. And I honestly love it. So there was an adjustment period. Like, it's not comfortable. You might be thinking, oh gosh, that would be awful. The only times I've ever sat on the floor, like with my kids or something, I've just felt like I was 90 years old trying to get up. And that's actually part of the reasons why I wanted to try this is I'm going to be 40 this summer. And kind of after I had Abby when I was 38, I just sort of noticed I felt old. Like when I sleep upstairs, and so when I go down the stairs in the morning, I felt old. I'm just like, I don't remember having these aches and pains in the morning. And honestly, sleeping on the floor has helped tons. Like, I feel young. I feel better in the mornings than I did when I was 20. So that's exciting. Some of the reasons that I had heard people like sleeping on the floor is that by getting up, like being in the habit of getting up and down off the floor, that's something that I guess is an indicator of feeling good into old age. Is like the people that are healthy into old age get up and down off the floor more often. And then for me, it's just like something I don't have to deal with. Honestly, aesthetically, I prefer having a bed. I think it looks cuter. Like my nightstands look sort of silly over here with my bed way down here. But other than that, like that's probably the only con that I've seen to having my bed on the floor. So that's the only con that I've seen to having my bed on the floor, is that it looks kind of silly. But I honestly, like, I love it. Like when I'm packing to go for a trip, or if I'm like going through everyone's clothes because we're changing over the seasons, I can just like roll my bed up and spread everything out. Like my floor is completely open. My toddler loves it. Like the kids love it. Like my boys they're wrestlers and they'll use my floor as their wrestling room now, which is fine because there's minimal furniture in here. Again, I'm not a minimalist, but there's minimal furniture in here for them to knock into. So I suppose I've made a little rec room in here for them. So yeah, when I started this, I just went cold turkey. Like I had my mattress hauled away, and I've been sleeping on the floor ever since. It did take, I probably had 3 nights of just like not great sleep. And so I did it during a time that it would be okay if I like took a nap that day or something. But after 3 days, I felt like I get better sleep. I wear a Fitbit at night, and I don't know how accurate those are, but I do get better like deep sleep and REM sleep since I've been sleeping on the floor. I wake up feeling good. Like I don't have any aches and pains. The first probably couple months that I did this, when I'd lay down at night, I'd hear my joints all like snap, crackle, and popping. And it was almost like going to the chiropractor every night that I'd lay on the floor. And I was used to it. Like I go to sleep no problem here on the floor. But yeah, but I don't get, like I'll get a few like pops occasionally, but the first few months I definitely saw a lot more popping in my body, which what I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is true, I do know that the mattress industry is a big industry, and so a lot of what you're going to read about proper sleep hygiene for having a good, new, expensive mattress, just follow the money, guys. Like it might not actually be a thing. And I'm definitely not saying that everyone has to try sleeping on the floor. I'm just sharing my experience for those that think it might be interesting to try. But since doing this, one of the things that I've been thinking about why I probably feel so good is that our mattress, like if you have a mattress that supports your position, it's really supporting your bad posture. And that's kind of an interesting way to think of things. It's like a lot of us are in not so great posture all day long. And then we get in bed, and rather than kind of going back to our natural state of like back flat and like joints compressed a little bit, like, I don't know, you can feel like you have compression against the floor. It's hard to explain, but it feels good. That our comfy beds are actually encouraging us to stay even all night in poor posture. So I think that might be one of the reasons why I feel so good. When we went camping, that was awesome. Like, I've never slept so great camping, and I'll go out and like pitch the tent in the yard with the kids and sleep on the ground with the kids, which is probably really good for grounding during the summer, and they love that. And I think it's good for all of us to be outside a little bit more. What else have I noticed from floor sleeping? Oh, I suppose because I am like getting up and down often from the floor, like maybe I'm more likely like getting more flexible or a little bit. I haven't noticed anything huge from that. I tend to like sitting on the floor anyway. Like, some people hate sitting on the floor, but I like, if there aren't enough chairs, I always volunteer to sit on the floor because I just kind of like it. Like, it feels good. It feels nice and grounding to me. So ideally, if I was doing this to eliminate the toxins, I'd rip up the carpet that's in here, but I'm not going to do that because there's carpet and carpet pad, and both of those are synthetic materials. And ideally, hardwood floor would be the best. I do have hardwood downstairs, and when it got super hot last summer, I stayed downstairs for a while because this is the second floor, and it gets a lot warmer up here. We don't have AC. So I slept down on the hardwood floor in the living room, which, like, it was comfortable. Like, that's what's so weird to me, is that this was probably a couple months after I had started sleeping on the floor up here. And I had no problem sleeping on the hardwood floor or in the tent on the like bumpy ground that summer at all. So I use in the winter time, I just switched it over. So in the winter time, I use a feather bed. It's like supposed to go on top of a mattress because it gets cold up here. This room is cantilevered over my porch. And so, I mean, Montana, it got down to like -34 this winter. So it gets pretty cold in here, and I don't want to run our heat that much. So I use a feather bed on the bottom, but I just switched it over, and for the summertime, I just use a flat sheet that I put flat on the ground, and then I sleep underneath. This is just a down comforter. It's like a medium weight, and then I have the cotton one on top. So it's not complicated at all. It's super easy. Like, if you want to try it, I'll link down below. I did write an article about this about a year ago. And this is really common in Japan, and they actually have like floor beds that they roll up and put away, or they have I think it's tatami mats that look super interesting. This works for me, so I haven't bought anything for it, but I know that people really like those tatami mats, and they really like the like futon type roll up beds for floor sleeping that are common in Japan. I'll leave links down below to like kind of all the information I could find about this. I don't see a whole lot of information about it other than like really young people that want to be minimalist. But definitely, if you're not getting good sleep, or you feel like you feel older than you should feel, or you want to increase your like joint mobility, I guess, and feel better getting up and down off the floor, I would recommend giving it a try. And you don't have to get rid of your mattress like I did. You could definitely just like, my friend Teresa slept in a sleeping bag on the side of her bed until she got rid of her bed also. But you could definitely just like sleep if you don't have room in your room, like sleep either next to your bed or sleep in another part of the house on the floor, and just like give it that 3 days and see what you think. Like, this might be a cure for a lot of people's. I know a lot of people have sleep issues, which I didn't really have sleep issues, but I know that this could really help people feel better, because it's helped me feel better. Like, I'm amazed at how much better I feel in the morning than I did before I started sleeping like this. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for hearing me out. Let me know how you slept the last time you slept on the floor, whether that was when you were crashed at your brother's house or in a tent out in the mountains for a summer vacation. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. For more information about simple, family-friendly, low-key strategies to make your life better and happier and healthier, click subscribe, and I will see you back later.